Yeah, we haven't gotten a final answer on all of this, but guys, I think we can breathe easy. It's a Biden victory. Okay. Here, we got some
I think
chill MAGA stuff.
I think
Let's take a look. We went from a racist on the right to a Democrat racist. Good job, America. Well, I mean, it's America, Logan King. They're going to be racist whichever way you go. So, let's take a look at this right-wing chill stuff. Right-wing chill stuff.
I,
Wait. Are these No, these are two different things. Okay. We'll watch this one first. Yeah, Trump lost, essentially. Okay, I need to bring up the thing that allows me to change what I'm looking at. Alright, here we go. Some clips. I don't know who any of these people are. This is NewYorkCityGuns.com? This is a real right-wing channel? This is what they decided to name themselves? Why is he dressed like Neo in The Matrix? But he kind of looks like a villain from The Matrix? Horsey? Hoboken Horse. I'm getting some real, dead-end vibes from both of these people. This is MAGA Tribe. There are no racist laws in America, so it's not as bad as it was in the 60s. I mean, America's still super racist, even without explicitly racist laws on the books. All right, let's watch this, okay?
I think we need, we need to keep fighting. We have to make sure that the president either wins, right? We've got to get the president to win, and if we can't do that, we need to remove as much legitimacy from Biden as possible so that he goes into his first year of presidency as weak and as questionable as possible. We have to start thinking we have to start playing the game the way it's actually played. And
I
then
think we should do a China collusion hoax.
Yeah.
Because it would actually turn out to be true.
Yeah.
Hit him with that.
But instead of playing it,
3 years.
Rumble.com. Let's see what.
Yeah, these guys, these are the guys who are gonna start the China hoax. Okay. These are gonna be the masterminds, guys. Look, guys, as leftists, right? Like these are our opposition. This is who we're up against. Okay. Do you want to lose to these chuds? Do you want to lose to people like this? A guy who's sitting in like a weird recreation of Mass Effect 2's Elusive Man's lair, and a guy who is sitting next to a pamphlet and a snow globe? I mean, come on. Come on. I know it's mean to talk about how they look, right? But like, on top of that, their big 5D chess plan is to lie and say Biden is colluding with Russia on the off chance that it might be true. Now, here's one of the big advantages that we have on the left that these people on the right don't have. We can be honest about our positions. We can be honest. And that's a giant strength, right? Like, I can just say, yeah, I'm a market socialist. I think that would improve the world quite a bit by solving hunger, homelessness, things like that. It's just a matter of how we allocate our resources. We can do these things right now. There are logical arguments to do them. These people have to say, oh, I'm a moderate conservative. I have legitimate concerns about our trade policy with Russia, and But when you dig down through their policy positions, it really comes down to fuck everyone, fuck you, I got mine. And that's one of the big problems with these people on the right. They talk about like state building, they talk all this grandeur, they try and come up with these really complicated schemes of like lying about their political opponents. I don't have to make up any lies about these people. These people are just sad, and they need to lie about their positions because on some level they know that their actual arguments for a better future don't hold any water. Hello, Revolt Rise. Welcome. We're just walking. Hi, Ronda Rousey. I'm Gamer Rousey today. Okay. Note the massive hoodie. But yeah, these people have to lie about their positions. You know, they'll probably both say, "Oh, we're moderate conservatives. You know, we're just deeply interested in the amount of debt our country is in, and we're willing to like kill 25,000 people a year in order to get level off the debt. Sacrifice for the invisible hand of the economy, right? No, I'm not going to play a Ronda Rousey clip. That's what these people have to do, right? When deep down, like, it usually comes down to, I hate black people, or maybe not even hate black people, I'm just uncomfortable around black people. Or they'll talk about, like, oh, I don't hate trans people, I just think they're weird. Or, like, like these mild inconveniences to their lives that they then extrapolate out into wider political positions that they feel justifies their bigotry or their lack of empathy for their fellow man. So let's watch this next clip.
Okay.
That's a real.
I think.
All right. Let's watch this next one.
I'm very excited that we've had a much better day today in this momentous battle as we face the precipice. I personally share the insurgent viewpoint. I don't care about people that talk about there's a gun, this is a powder keg, and we don't want it to go off. Like, you know what? They used the nuke on election night in Milwaukee, in Detroit, in Philly. They made that choice. And you know what? My job, every American's job, is to see they pay for that. And it ain't about next year. It's time to be an insurgent. It's time to be a revolutionary American standing up for this Constitution.
Oh, okay. So they're just planning to become terrorists. Okay. That's fine, I guess. All right. They're talking about the Hammer vote counting program. I don't know. At the end there, it sounded like he was saying we need to take up arms and engage in. When people on the right talk about engaging in revolutionary action, they're not talking about like, climbing a building illegally and dropping down a giant banner that proclaims a position, right? They're not talking about some attention-grabbing stunt in public. They're not talking about even like locking themselves into a to the desk of like some politician or something. They're talking about grabbing a gun and killing people. Sure, they are talking about the Hammer program as the nuke, yeah. Let's see, Revolt Rise. Moderate conservative to me means I'm not reactionary because I made my default positions the reactions and now I'm just normally racist, self-centered, and mad about being alone. True. True. I mean, I would prefer to live in a world where we're not having to be on edge for fascist terrorist attacks. I would prefer that. I'm not going to lose any sleep over, fascist terrorists losing their lives, but I prefer not to live in that kind of a battleground, So if we can at all avoid that, I'd be in favor of it. Oh yeah, Steve Bannon. Let's talk about that a little bit, right? Steve Bannon head. Let's see what we come up with here. All right. Let's see. I guess we can head over to. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Steve Bannon's lawyers quit after he calls for beheading of Dr. Fauci and FBI Director Christopher Wray. Do you know how badly you have to fuck up for your lawyer to quit? Like, especially if you're Steve Bannon's lawyer. Like, if you're Steve Bannon's lawyer, you know what you're getting into when you're representing this guy. This guy's like a neo-Nazi. Like he's white supremacist. Um, his favorite book is Camp of the Saints, which is all about dirty brown people coming from from the foreign lands to invade Europe, and a last stand by white civilization to defend itself. That's his favorite book. So all I'm saying is that if you're a lawyer and you take this guy on, you know what you're getting into, but he done fucked up. Lawyers for I can't believe this is on his resume. Former White House strategist Steve Bannon are reportedly calling it quits after their client called for the beheading of Dr. Anthony Fauci and FBI Director Christopher Wray as a warning. Guys, it's like being OJ's lawyer, kinda, yeah. I don't know how to say this in like a tactful way, but it's not a good idea to threaten like specifically and specific and violent acts against the head of the FBI or the head of the CIA or the head of the NSA. Like, these are things that, especially if you're a prominent political figure, you should know probably not a good idea. You know, these are people in charge of organizations that are designed to take people out, or exert the power of the state on like via legal means. You know, these are not people to threaten on your podcast. Now, for example, not a huge fan of the FBI, not a huge fan of the CIA, not a huge fan of the NSA. But I'm not going to call for violence against the individual heads of these systems. I would just say, maybe we should pass legislation to take a little bit of power away from each of those organizations, so the CIA can't run a black ops program to ship drugs across the world and, do whatever the fuck it wants. Things like that. You can criticize the policy, but good lord, this is just a bad idea. Breaking. Confirmation of contact with Biden camp personnel by Chinese embassy staff during voting period. All right. Yeah, Revolt Rise, I'll caveat a little further. Don't do it like ever, but wicked don't do it while you're being indicted for tax fraud and you're still out on bail. Yeah. Man, these people are really imploding under the sheer weight of their own like incompetence and bigotry. It's pretty impressive. I'm quite enjoying this period of viewing conservatives. Still in the denial phase. True. Yeah. Maybe if Steve Bannon had been able to exert a little bit more control over Donald Trump, he'd be in a position where calling for the beheading of our nation's lead doctor in the middle of a pandemic wouldn't get him in serious trouble. But where he's at right now, yeah, not a ton of leeway here. All right, in a one-page letter, Mr. Oh, can we read the letter? That would be amazing. Do we have the text? Oh, here we do. Dear Judge Torres, on behalf of defendant Steve Bannon, we write respectfully to request an adjournment of the status conference currently scheduled for Monday, November 9th at 1 p.m. Mr. Bannon is in the process of retaining new counsel, and Quinn Emanuel intends to move to withdraw. As a result, Mr. Bannon respectfully requests that the status conference in this matter be adjourned for 3 weeks so he may formally retain new counsel. Oh, gosh. This is quite rich. Quite rich, I say. Oh, they had the quote right there. I didn't need to look it up. Oh well. Oh, wait, we can listen to him threatening the head of the FBI. A very smart thing for a man to do.
And that's the second term. Second term kicks off with firing Wray, firing Fauci. Now, I actually want to go a step farther, but I realize the president is a kind-hearted man and a good man. I'd actually like to go back to the old times of Tudor England. I'd put the heads on pikes, right? I'd put them at the two corners of the White House as a warning to federal bureaucrats. You either get with the program or you're gone. Time to stop playing games. Blow it all out. Put Rick Grinnell today as the interim head of the FBI. That'll light them up, right?
You know what, Steve? Just yesterday, there was the anniversary of the hanging of two Tories in Philadelphia. These were Quaker businessmen who had cohabitated, if you will, with the British while they were occupying Philadelphia. These people were hung. This is what we used to do to traitors.
That's how you won the revolution. Nobody wants to talk about it. Revolution wasn't some sort of garden party, right? It was not. It was a civil war. It was a civil war. Remember also in the revolution, and that's the second.
Okay, so just as a little recap of what you just heard, we should behead two of our prominent figures in our government, and 3, so you should behead both of them. That's his point here, and number 2, we should go back to the ways of Tudor England. Like, there's a reason, guys, that society progressed past that, right? You understand that, right? We went past that because it was an ineffectual system. That's why guys, stuff like that is literally why we embrace democracy in America. Yeah, and the third point is that he wants to do that because he thinks we're in the middle of a civil war. And he wants Trump to fight it like one. These people are deranged. Like, guys, when I say Trump is a fascist, this guy was his strategist. This guy was in the White House making decisions that affect everyone in this country. And he's completely unhinged from reality. This is, by the way, just like a really, like, I feel like I need to really emphasize that, like, this is absolutely disgusting and abhorrent, and it has no place in a civil democracy. And it's not people on the left who are calling for death and violence. This is an actual political figure on the right, a mainstream one, I need to add, calling for executions to make political points against the president's enemies. Also, to be fair, Steve Bannon doesn't look as much like a rotting corpse as he did when he was in the White House. This is true. So I guess good on him for that. He's going to need that health when he's spending a lot of time in prison for directly threatening the head of the FBI. Gosh. Anyway, this is wild. Oh, Sentry Dish. News along with Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. At least 4 other White House aides currently have coronavirus, per sources. Pains were taken to keep Meadows' illness a secret, I'm told, and people around him who knew were told to keep quiet. What a fucking weird scenario. where you're sick and like no one can know because it's going to make the president look bad because the president's going around claiming he can go and like make out with everyone in his crowds of people. This is all very frustrating. It's funny, but it's also really exasperating that this is the state of our discourse at the moment. I do want to say, as a Trump supporter, congratulations to Joe Biden and his supporters on a great campaign. I hope Joe Biden can bring the nation together after years of division, and hopefully, for all the Biden supporters, he is able to deliver you the America of your hopes and dreams. I'm willing to give Biden a chance to see what he can do. Well, Dark Sage, welcome aboard. You know what? We're gonna try and do right by you, my friend. Because here's the thing: real leftists, we have no interest in punishing Trump supporters. We're here to fight for your rights and to improve your life as much as possible, in addition to fighting to improve our own lives, okay? So, yeah. Just, be cool, right? Meanwhile, AOC just endorsed a website that is literally a blacklist of Trumpists. Yeah, I mean, I think that's okay. Like you understand, like the president's former chief strategist just called for executing people on the left. I think that that's a pretty good reason for maybe wanting to blacklist some of the radical people on the right who are currently advocating to murder people on the left. I think that's okay. I think blacklisting is not necessarily where where the right stops in all of this, okay? Oh, what happened to Apple? What did Apple do? No, like DOZ'd. This is literally a story about Steve Bannon calling for the execution of the head of the FBI. Like, we can listen to it again. Here, you know what? Let's listen to it again because it really is unbelievable.
Second term kicks off with firing Wray, firing Fauci. Now, I actually want to go a step farther, but I realize the president is a kind-hearted man and a good man. I'd actually like to go back to the old times of Tudor England. I'd put the heads on pikes, right? I'd put them at the two corners of the White House as a warning to federal bureaucrats. You either get with the program or you're gone. Time to stop playing games. Blow it all out. Put Rick Grinnell today as the interim head of the FBI. That'll light him up, right?
You know what, Steve? Just yesterday, there was the anniversary of the hanging of two Tories in Philadelphia. These were Quaker businessmen who had cohabitated, if you will, with the British while they were occupying Philadelphia. These people were hung. This is what we used to do to traitors.
Except Dr. Fauci and the head of the FBI haven't been convicted of treason. And I'm pretty sure neither of them committed treason. No, this isn't a joke. His literal lawyers had to leave. He threatened the head of the FBI. What the fuck are you talking about? How unhinged from reality are you? Yeah, it's a joke for the White House former chief strategist to call for the execution of the head of the FBI. How unhinged from reality are you? Oh, I'm sure. Sorry. I guess his lawyers who quit also weren't in on the joke. I guess that's the case. You know the lawyers they were way too serious. You know, they just didn't get the joke. So what's the humor of the joke again? Can you explain the joke to me? What's funny about it? Wait, DOZ, what's funny about calling for the beheading of political opponents? Can you explain that to me? I'm something of like a comedy connoisseur, so if you can explain the joke to me, that would be really helpful. It's obvious that won't happen, so suggesting it as a punishment for treason. Okay, yeah. except that he's not suggesting it as a joke. He literally said the words, "This is what I would want to happen," and no one laughed. He has a co-host here. Instead, his co-host brought up another incident in which 2 people got hung for political crimes. I'm pretty sure if you commit actual treason against the US government, you can in fact be killed. I notice how, by the way, you're like defending this like it's a really funny joke, as if when you listen to this, you had a hearty belly laugh. You, ho 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 ho! He's threatening to kill people. Ho 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 ho! Yeah, it's so good. It's a real chuckler, that one. It's meant the same way. Sure. Uh-huh. Yeah. No one has said, wouldn't it be funny if we killed Trump? Right? Like, you understand that, like, people on the left who are like, you won't even I have never advocated for killing the president. By all means, if you think I have, you should probably report me to the FBI. Oh, wait, except the head of the FBI is a traitor, apparently. So I guess he's down with that? What? Come on now. Oh yeah, Steve Bannon, little known fact, Ferdy stream. Steve Bannon went from being a well-known white supremacist to, I guess, becoming a comedian, according to people on the right. Steve Bannon, well-known stand-up comic. It's okay, DOZ. You can continue malding in chat. I'm enjoying this. You know, the alternate path that Steve Bannon could have taken through life as like a really shitty comedian. What dichotomy? On one side, you have people who are blacklisting people that they don't want to hear from anymore because they're jokingly talking about how it'd be fun if they killed their political opponents. Ha ha ha, what a good joke. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. These are fake laughs. These are fake laughs because it's not an actual joke. I'm making fun of you because you're a dumbass. Yes, I am laughing at your expense. Any of the genuine laughter here is at your expense and at the expense of Steve Bannon. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't answer for ambiguous leftists. I can't answer for... Do you want to give me a specific example, DOZ? Or are you just going to cry in chat about, like, someone somewhere hurt your feelings on the internet one time? Gosh. Yeah, give me a specific example. Give me a specific example, because right now, all you're saying is, oh, leftists hurt my feelings one time. Yeah, Kathy Griffin, like, had to go into, like, exile for a year, you idiot. Like, come on now. Kathy Griffin lost her show. Like, she suffered actual consequences to her career. Like, yeah, and guess what? Leftists roundly condemned her. The media roundly condemned her for that stunt. And also, I think you'd be hard-pressed to make the case that Kathy Griffin is, like, a prominent leftist. AOC just endorsed a blacklist group of people showed up at elected officials' houses and harassed them and threatened them. Yeah, AOC endorsed a blacklist of people like Steve Bannon who like to make jokes frequently about killing their political adversaries. Groups of people showed up at elected officials' houses and harassed them. That's not actually illegal. They're exercising their First Amendment right. You can show up on the street outside of someone's house to protest them, especially if they're a political official. I think that's okay. We actually did a story the other day about protesters showing up outside the chief of police in Portland And they actually had a really constructive conversation that helped rebuild the relationship between protesters and police, at least a little bit. I am somewhat familiar with Minneapolis. This is true. Trump said my city has been burning for years. News to me. I mean, DOZ'd. Wait, sorry, DOZ'd. I think that you're not familiar with the jokes on the left. You know, it's a good joke on the left when people show up outside of your house. It's a joke. Why don't you get that? You know, it's not like they're gonna do anything. Like, come on now. Come on now. Anyway. Let me assemble a fucking dossier for you of everyone on the left who made similar statements. My dude, I'm pretty sure every prominent right-wing pundit has made comments about wanting to kill or destroy the left. So, I mean, have fun with that, I guess.